We met down in Fairview, and Ciaráin's brother was a friend of my brother's. We met through them, so when I was coming up to the Debs, I invited Ciaráin to my Debs. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes, so long as our firstborn child played for Vincent's. And he said, okay, grand. It's great to have our family involved as well. I suppose if the kids weren't as interested in it as we were, it'd be very tough on us.
Ciaráin's are playing Vincent's. The tension in the house is gas. Mum is obviously Vincent's and Dad is Ciaráin, so Mum always claims that she'll give John steak for dinner and she won't feed Kevin. But it's always a bit of a laugh, but I suppose no one takes it too seriously.
She had her hands full. She could have got a job as a bus driver. The amount of dropping off and picking up she did from matches around. Leaving some matches early to go to another match to make sure she got the end of that, or make sure we all got the same amount of attention. There was no favourites.
It means everything. I don't know what we do without it, to be fair. We eat, drink and sleep it.
It's always through the family like the rest of us. There's not enough supporting words, I'd say.
I know my whole life at this rate.
We're very proud parents. That's a huge achievement to have 100% of your family still playing. We're proud of them all, every one of them.
My name is Niamh Heatherton.
My name is John Heatherton. I'm Ciaráin Heatherton.
I'm Patsy Heatherton, and as a family,
our roots are set in the GAA.
Ground Force probably is the absolute heart of this club, both in their ethos, the amount of work they do, and just the pure love they have for Naomh Marnoga and the GAA in general. In simplest terms, we probably couldn't function without Ground Force.
I suppose the GAA was always a bit more than hitting the ball or hitting a schlitter, you know, and it gave a great sense of community to people.
I suppose at my age, fear of retirement, worried about the unknown, what am I going into a home under my wife's feet all the time or something like that, and then we just got this men's initiative started off. We feel that we're giving something back to the club that gave so much to us. We come up here on a rotary basis and line pitches, cut grass. It kind of empowers us as well if we feel valued.
We're all friends, we're all retired, we're all around the same age group. Some of us have nothing outside of our work, and Ground Force has been a big change for everybody from the mental well-being point of view. It's really, really important and really significant, and there is great camaraderie amongst the group.
So I think there's about 30 odd men in this initiative that comes up to the club and has a chat, and the coffee is important as well. We sort out the world, Dad.
Yeah. Or well, most of it.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me, just achievement and pride.
Sean Walsh. So.
Early round, by the way, the final opening temperatures 5:26 to 14 points in O'Toole Park. Vincent's overcoming St. Jude's.
Fired in O'Sheen, but what a finish, roof of the net. I said it to you earlier on, you have to have that man running off your shoulder as well. You know, Hedgehow went running through here, ball comes in, bang, top of the net.
Squeezed in by Finn. Not an easy match to take, but he took it on, he was successful. So after a good start by Whitehall, Colmcille, James Finn, with his first possession, I think, wipes out the deficit and puts his team in the plus column.
Yeah, and Hedgehow did well as well. You can see he's come from 6. He's been playing 6 the last couple of years, but they put him up nearly 11 now at the minute, and he's causing problems in there as well.
And ball rolled backwards by Darren McCarthy. Goes back to Darren McCarthy. Deliver is the shout at the Craobh backs. They did try, but it breaks kindly for Whitehall, Colmcille and Tara Gray. The pitch in really good condition, very warm conditions here in Parnell Park. One O'Donnell breaks it. Was he being held illegally? Referee says yes, he was, and it's a free in, but not a penalty.
I think young Forbes is doing well on the man of the stature of O'Donnell as well. He's doing well, and the guys around him need to be given that support, because he's going to battle in the air, he's going to fight in the air, but he's going to need the 2 or 4 to get in around him and help him after that initial ball goes in, because O'Donnell's a tough man to stop. Again, an easy enough free here now for Paddy to bring it back level, but you hear from Craobh as well, they're playing the ball, but they want that ball delivered inside, because it is quite a young... No, I thought he was going for it there the way he hit it, but it's quite a young full back line for Whitehall at the minute, so Dara Gray's calling a lot of shots there too, you know, really progressive in the way he's talking to the players around him, which is, so he wants that covering player on the inside.
9 minutes gone in O'Toole Park. Kilmacud Crokes 4 points, Coola 3 points, a much changed Coola team. Nothing lasts forever and all that, and it's not that I'm suggesting they won't be as good, but there's a lot of new names in there. Chiaráin playing around the middle, it's risky enough, but it works out for Gary Kelly. Gives his teammate a bit of work to do there. Mark Hayes chasing after it. Hayes, he was pressurised and lost it, and now it is Noonan. Good ball to Barry. Good point by Barry. Really good work by Whitehall Colmcille.
Yeah, great work, great score as well, and in fairness to Johnny Barry, he's a big man in there as well, but he's out around the middle rather than being inside. They've left O'Donnell inside as much as possible to try and create that one-on-one with Owen Forbes.
It's twice now that Whitehall Colmcille have kind of gone on 2-score bursts. They've got the first 2 scores of the game, and they've got the next 2 after the good response to that Craobh Chiaráin goal. That's a good response by Eddie Moran to win the ball like that. Noonan was asked an awful lot of there. It's going to be pulled on by Robbie Mahon, Kevin Heatherton, I beg your pardon. Cummins, Spellacy. Great skill by Spellacy. O'Donnell is waiting for this one. Just didn't quite fall for O'Donnell first time. He's going to make it come to him second time. It is O'Donnell. It is a score.
He causes problems, doesn't he, every time the ball goes in there, and so he's a handful. You know, he all he needs is one ball to fall properly, and he'll bury it in the back of the net. But Craobh will be a bit disappointed there as well. They kind of overcooked it a small bit as well. Didn't win that normal dirty ball on the ground, and Whitehall came out with it.
Chasing after it, Dara Gray. I don't mean disrespect to either of these two teams, but they would both look at this as a must-win game, wouldn't they?
I think they would. I think they'd look at. I think it's. I'm not going to talk about other teams, but they'd both want to win this game with a viewpoint to maybe having a definite shot at winning at least one other game in the group. But
Whitehall Colmcille, who survived the relegation playoffs last season against Craobh Chiaráin, who got promoted as Senior 2 champions. Owen O'Donnell tries to get it under his spell. Owen O'Donnell does have it. O'Donnell assessed his options and said, you know what, shooting is the best one.
Wide.
But it's wide.
Yeah, and there was a run through the centre there as well, an option that came through the centre, just maybe, you know, he has to, and again, he's done really well so far, but just being aware of the players around him too.
Crook 6 points to 3 up against Coola after 11 minutes. That one climbed high in the Dublin sky. It's a battle zone around the middle, isn't it? Spellacy. O'Donnell is potentially the target, but he knew there was no point in going after that one.
He's a fine player, rushing on Forbes. I know he'll have his hands full today with O'Donnell, but he's a fine player. He's intelligent.
Low ball from Johnny Barry. Finds his man. Can his man get in on goal? That's Rafferty. Good running by Rafferty. Rafferty brought down, and that's a free. Ooh, actually, the free is not needed because it's pulled into the back of the net. Really fine running by Rafferty. And a really excellent finish. Great ground stroke by Conor Cummins.
Yeah, Rafferty kind of was brave. You know, Danny gave the advantage, but on the ground, bang, back of the net. Great finish. Craobh would be disappointed, like only a goal on the scoreboard so far after 11, 12 minutes. It's not like them. They haven't got a free up front yet, but it's not like them to not have a couple of scores on the board.
1-3 without reply for Whitehall Colmcille. And Commons with an old school pull. You don't see too much of it anymore, do you?
No, but it's effective when it's in there. Like we said earlier on, sometimes we overthink the game of being simple too. The ball drops down, bang, and a good goal to kind of set them up now with a 5-point lead.
They have been the better team so far. The scoreboard isn't a liar here. Bit of zip on that ball, but Josh Thorpe got it up. Long it goes from Cummins, the goal scorer. Battling for it was Enda O'Donnell. Comes to brother Owen. Owen goes to ground, appeals for the free, isn't given. Gives it to Enda. Enda couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, Owen looks, is he under a bit of pressure maybe with a leg issue there, because he doesn't look himself there.
There are times where he's not running out to balls that he'd normally go to, but he can still catch those high ones and has been effective so far.
Yeah.
A long range effort from Eddie Moran, which goes wide.
And that's frustrating. I think again, you look at O'Donnell's body language over there, like he just seems to be kind of on his hunkers a lot. Now that could be a little bit of a foolish ploy as well, just to kind of think for the full back to kind of play it, but he just doesn't look himself. But he's so dangerous every time the ball goes in.
Ball down the line in towards Cian Derwin. He broke it for Darren Kelly. Darren Kelly still doing it after all these years. I don't think you'll mind me saying that. He was looking for the quick little pass in there to James Finn, who'd already got 1 goal, but the danger was sussed out by Dara Gray. Keeper has to be careful, and is he? What a collision that was, and it's no foul, it's a fair contact. Johnny Barry going long. Kelly. Intercepted. Noonan probing ball for Enda O'Donnell. Enda O'Donnell got up in the air, but he was well marked and well marshalled by Darren McCarthy. But he hasn't given up on it, Enda O'Donnell. What is it about those O'Donnell boys? Noonan tries to spill it out to Conor Cummins, but it is a Craobh Chiaráin ball. Cummins though got it and just swept it down the line to Rafferty, who created their goal but couldn't create a point for himself there.
No, it's more of a snapshot out in the line, and I had a chance maybe to go and push the legs to go at it a small bit, but Whitehall will be happy enough so far. They've started okay, a little bit of shooting efficiency is letting them down, but the ball that's going inside is causing problems all the time, whereas Craobh will be disappointed that they need to get a score, you know, from play sooner rather than later to really not let Whitehall slip away with this.
Kilmacud Crokes 8 points, Coola 6 points is the latest score. 15 minutes gone there. Might roll through here. No, keeper's very quickly off his line. Ronan Murray shrugged off the defender. Noonan though couldn't hang on to it, and there might be something here for Darren Kelly. Darren Kelly! Good save. Chance still there. James Finn for another one. Another save by Murray. It's Darren Kelly. Oh, he left it behind. Not sure what he was trying to do there.
You know, we talked about inside, about maybe over, like, again, he needs to lift that ball rather than just back through the legs.
Oh no, Don, can he get it in hand? He has it in hand. He's like a bull raging forward. Raftery was with him. O'Donnell had eyes on the goal. He knew he'd probably be fouled. Is it a free or is it a penalty? Good referee. He'll have a word with the umpires.
Yeah, Danny's around long enough now to understand that, and he's a good man in Willie Fallon there, who obviously does a lot of umpiring for Sean Stack as well, so they'll give him that bit of advice too. He was straight in on goal, but did the initial foul happen maybe outside?
Penalty. Well, let's have another look.
Yeah, we've said it every time the ball goes into O'Donnell, and young Forbes is doing well. Yeah, I think the initial one was probably outsider, but look, the call was made then penalty wise, but I did think the initial one was outside. But every time he wins the ball, I can see why Dublin looked at that idea this year, but when you're taking him out of three, there can be a hole at times as well, because he is probably one of the best fullbacks in the country, but he's such an effective forward also.
Spellisy, who's already got 3 points.
Roof of the net.
Fantastic penalty.
Yeah, that's giving them a big lead now. That's 2-5 to a goal. You know, you're looking now for a bit of leadership now from Craobh again. When that ball comes out here now, you're going to look to the likes of Robbie Mahan or Keane Derwin to win their own ball and get a score on the board for Craobh.
Well, they've got players who can make the ball stick in that forward line, and they also have runners the likes of Raftery. Do you still teach that in school, Mr. Raftery and Filla?
No, they don't. But I tell you, that half-back line for Whitehall, be they young or not, being led there by Dara Gray, but that's a great ball to win coming out there from young Luke McCarthy. Really good ball to win, and I said it to you before the game, Oisin, Whitehall have loads of potential, but the players they have coming through with the current panellists, again, I don't know why, you know, if the likes of Lee and Costello are not playing, it's disappointing to name them, to list them, but they have such potential there with some of the young players they have coming through as well, because I've seen a few of them. That young O'Connor is a fine player and was underage, so they have a lot of potential to get themselves set up properly into a senior capacity. Great score.
Spellisy right over the black spot. He's having a fine game. 1-4 he's got now. And a first half that's flying by. Good catch by Heatherton. They need scorers, Craobh Chiaráin. Fullback Thorpe takes it. Whitehall Colmcille confident in moving it out of defence, and up they go through Eddie Moran. Spellisy, it just skipped away from him. Here's Raftery. Line ball, Craobh Chiaráin.
Yeah, looking for the free and not getting it. Danny allowing that bit of physicality to come in and tackle, and the hard hits to come in too, which is no harm for them. But it's a worry for Craobh that they've only got a goal in 18 minutes hurling. No better team and no better group of spirited people to lift that. But that full back line and half back line for Whitehall have been extremely dominant. Young, but they're really fighting for ball. And it's a great testament to them as well, because sometimes there's no fear factor in them at all today. They're coming out with a lot of ball, and like you said a few minutes ago, being intelligent with the use of ball as well.
You could see the frustration of Raftery there when the ball came to him. He just couldn't quite hang on to it. He did have a defender breathing down his neck, and he was in a very tight space, so you wouldn't be too hard on him. Darren Kelly was after that, but again, I think it was Thorpe who just got in, got a flick on it. Here's Conor Cummins going long, looking for Endo O'Donnell. Endo O'Donnell somehow is stolen it back. Owen is inside completely on his own. Here's Owen O'Donnell. O'Donnell.
Bullet.
Excellent finish.
And Enda, there was no dinner in the O'Donnell household tonight if you didn't give it to him. But do you know what? A great pass. O'Donnell, dummies to the left, bang, bottom right hand corner. Craobh in trouble here, rushing. Could have gone himself, didn't, gave it inside, thought maybe, and again Owen just dummy to the left, sold that dummy, and just a little bit of naivety inside, and 15 points to 3. It's so unlike Craobh. Just that hangover from the league. I think it's very hard to lift momentum after having a poor league.
They haven't scored since the 6th minute. They need a couple of scores. They need something. It's just not going to happen like that, is it? Here's Eddie Moran.
They're trying to work a goal too early as well. Put the ball out, get a couple of scores on the board rather than they're constantly trying to walk it inside.
End O'Donnell, through no fault of his own, it was left behind. It was good work by Matthew Forbes. Matthew Forbes has found Darren Kelly. Can Darren Kelly find a score? Not on this occasion. But he's the man that you want to get the ball to. Just get that scoreboard moving.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well that we haven't seen Keane Derwin really at all. Billy Ryan is trying hard, he's trying to cover between the 6 and the 3. A lot of running. Fairness to O'Donnell's Enda, is doing a lot of work on that half forward line. Great tackle again.
Noonan. Spellisy. Might fall for Noonan, just gets away from him. Swept up by Hayes. And Whitehall Colmcille, they don't give up on anything. They've turned it over again. Spellisy. I think that's Noonan who's running after it, but I think is he saying he dropped the hurley?
Yeah, good call by Danny, I think.
Yeah. Well, any player who drops the hurley will argue that they didn't do it on purpose. They didn't drop it, it was forced out of their hand, but Harrington a lot closer to it than us. They need scores, Craobh, Chiaráin. This one's dropped in on top of Darren Kelly. And he was minded really well there by Dara Gray, who just stuck to him.
Dara Gray's teak tough, he won't be, that won't bother him, again. Ball comes out, used well by Whitehall. Craobh back on it now again. Just need to get a bit of confidence, put the ball over the bar and
intercepted. Good take by Eddie Moran, who winds up and goes long. It's old school hurling. The backs win it and then the forwards fight for it. Owen O'Donnell gets up, comes to Owen O'Donnell again. Owen O'Donnell smothered, but he'll get a second bite at it. Just wouldn't quite pop up for him. He looked like he was kind of holding his leg as he went to ground there. Even on one leg, he's an amazing player. Stealing away now his own Forbes.
He had an offload injury this year, though, he got in the World Cup, that he missed the whole National League. And I'd say that's the fear as well. He's obviously gone through an intensive rehab program, but he just looks
off camera. He's still on one knee. I wonder, even this early in the game, I know that leads can be closed out in hurling quite easily, as it's intercepted brilliantly by Eddie Moran, and then Moran is blocked down. That's really good work, really fine work by Cian Dermot. Eddie Moran wins it back, though. I do wonder at this stage, should Whitehall Colmcille consider bringing him off? Going forward with it is Luke McCarthy looking for Noonan. Trying to find some spaces, Johnny Barry. Now he tries to find Noonan. Craobh Chiaráin just winning a bit more ball now, aren't they? Kind of creating a few more breaks. A long way to go, but they are a long way behind. Nice
They'll never give up.
By Gary Kelly.
They won't. We've seen that over the years here. No matter what the level of the victory or defeat is, they won't give up. They're such spirited people, but it's a big task ahead of them now.
Draw game between Kilmacud Crokes and Coola at the moment. There's 18 minutes gone in that game.
Great tackling.
Fantastic tackling. Sean Kellett just not giving up on it. Here's Spellisy.
Paddy every time just launches
this one.
straight in.
Owen O'Donnell gets it under control. He's got Raftery with him. Might need him. Now it's Noonan. Well, I thought Noonan had it. O'Donnell went to ground with it. Noonan wanted it, didn't get it. Coming away is The Craobh Chiaráin defender falls kindly for Sean McHugh. Sean McHugh gets it away. Cian Derwin on the chase after this one. In hot pursuit is Luke McCarthy. Here's Derwin. Luke McCarthy isn't giving him an inch, but Derwin does really well. And McCarthy never gave up on that, but he has fouled.
I think the sound of the timber nearly caused the free more than anything else. Like, he came across the ball there, really went for the ball, but just that sound of timber. Again, O'Donnell just looks a bit... Look, for people at home, you won't see it, but off the camera all of the time, he's down, he's stretching, he just looks that he's just gassed a small bit, but he's been so effective so far at 14.
Kilmacud Crokes have a 3-point lead now against Cuala. 24 minutes gone in that game. 11-8 Crokes lead. And Crokes have just missed a penalty.
Dara Gray has made a great run here now if the keeper can see him.
Now, because I was reading that update, you might tell me who actually got that score for Craobh Chiaráin.
There's a free from Cian Derwin.
The commentator who doesn't watch the game. What a pro I am. Thank you. Forbes. Lovely bit of skill by Forbes. He's been closed in on.
No, they've nobody inside Ocean.
Roland Murray. Zippy ball. Out to the wing forward line. That's Noonan. That's wide.
Like, Forbes made a great run up the line there, broke through 2 tackles, but again hitting the ball inside with probably 20 yards short with nobody in there, so they're going to need to keep somebody in at 14.
Slips through the fingers and Noonan intercepts. Noonan might drop in for O'Donnell, couldn't quite get the stick to it. Three goals for Whitehall, Colmcille. 3 different goal scorers, Cummins, Spellisy and Owen O'Donnell. Noonan into the hand of Derry Noonan.
Just over on the sideline there seems to be a bit of a coming together.
We'll come back to it in a second. O'Donnell. O'Donnell. No. Now, after that ball was played long, a Craobh Chiaráin player went down on the sideline there. You might have heard that reaction. As to what actually happened, I'm not sure, because we were following the flight of the ball. Owen Forbes. Owen O'Donnell down in these haunches again. Great pluck out of the sky. Fantastic stuff from Dara Gray. Johnny Barry. End O'Donnell is the aim. Owen O'Donnell is out in the wing, leaning over, trying to draw his breath. Heatherton. It's a good ball. Ryan, he went out, but the ball stayed in.
Yeah, I think we went out that time there. Good call. Linesman had the flag
Yeah,
up.
he was considering it, wasn't he?
I did think it come out.
Eddie Moran got it back. Dara Gray. Lovely stuff from Dara Gray. Moran. Back to Dara Gray. One of those guys who always looks like he's got a lot of time. Falls kindly for Whitehall, Colmcille. But then it's won back by Kevin Heatherton. Trying to intercept it now is Niall O'Connor. Niall O'Connor. Good score. Really good score.
Loads of talent. I like him. O'Donnell seems to be struggling at the side again there. I don't know whether he got the most pleasant of strikes, maybe the last ball. That's what's kind of taking a bit of wind out of him. But yeah.
And that is their first score since the goal to make it 3-6. Just one score for Craobh Chiaráin since. It's all going Whitehall, Colmcille's way at the moment. Of course, that doesn't just happen, does it? You make it go your way.
But look, they're working hard for every ball in around the half-back line, especially. Dara Gray is huge player. Again, a player that Dublin missed, I think, this year as well because of injury a lot through the course of the league and championship too. But he would have been disappointed now with that last ball that he hit in because it was into nobody. But
Eddie Moran has found his man. That man is Spellisy. Spellisy looking to find another score.
Yeah.
And he has. In fairness to Craobh Chiaráin, they are battling for everything, but they're just finding it very, very difficult to get any kind of purchase up top or get scores.
Yeah, they're not. The Whitehall half back line is very much on top, and Whitehall are allowing that puck out and then trusting that their half back line are going to win it.
Derwin. McCarthy again chasing him down. Derwin. I don't think that has the legs. Murray, oh, he has to be careful. He got away with the bearing in on him was James Finn, who's already got 1 goal. I think they're signalling that there was a foul there, or they're signalling the referee anyway. We'll come back to it.
But he had to call it because the hand was up from the umpire. So
yep.
I know people are giving out saying it's not a hand injury. It doesn't matter. He was called by the umpire. It seemed that he'd ran into the post, but looks okay now.
Yep.
Danny taking his time anyway, going in to have a look to see where. I think the umpires are happy now that everything's okay.
Well, that goes back to the experience you spoke about, that if there's any kind of heated temperatures, they cool off the longer you take as a referee. Not that it was boiling over or anything like that.
No. Indirect free here now.
Derwin. Just bounced away from Billy Ryan. Comes back to Billy Ryan. Can he squeeze the score? No. Half time in O'Toole Park. Kilmacud Crokes leading by 4 against Coola, 13 points to 9. Crokes have had a few wides, probably should be further ahead from what we're hearing. Missed penalty in that game.
Yeah, Craobh will be like 1-1 in a championship game. In my time, I don't think I've seen that ever. That's a great take again.
Spellacy again. Couldn't find his man. And even if you don't win a game, scoring difference could count in the end, so Craobh Chiaráin will want to up it and getting the score sense. Here's Derry Noonan. Noonan gives to Mikey Noonan. O'Donnell's in there again, just couldn't quite get to it. Spellacy got in there, and the most unusual block down in the sense that the ball just went flying off. It's a line ball. And it is to Whitehall Colmcille. I don't think I've ever seen a ball fly off like that from a
Paddy
block
worked
down.
hard there enough to turn it over with the ball. He'd no right to win. The only thing about having O'Donnell in there, you need somebody working off him. The brother did really well in the first few minutes, but they need somebody in there rather than if they have 2 Craobh defenders on him.
Spellacy. Got the height but not the accuracy. Craobh Chiaráin battling for that breaking ball, and much to their credit they have got it. Carl Salmon leaves it behind, tackling him hard as Raftery. A free out to Craobh Chiaráin.
Like for those at home, like there is a small bit of a breeze there that you'd say is in favour of Whitehall. A small bit, but not the difference that's in it at the minute. Look, Craobh will reset at half time. I've no doubt there's a spirit in the group. They'll have to, because if not, they're going to be at the end of a really, really poor result. But Whitehall have been impressive enough, apart from a couple of little kind of poor wides in the first half, that they won't be happy with. Great ball won by Dara Gray.
Dara Gray, who, as you say, had a bit of injury during the summer.
Oh, huge, yeah. And he's a huge loss for Dublin as a 5 or 7. So I have a lot of time from he makes that run down the line. The next time you see it, like, constantly, and as a manager against him, sometimes when you have a ball in Sean Brennan's hand and Dara Gray runs 50 yards, he creates such space for his inside forwards because he makes that linear run. So
it was frustrating for him because he was kind of close to being fully fit, and he was getting game time, but anyway, free in for Whitehall Colmcille.
Lee Gannon too, like, you look at the year that he's missed out with the footballers, you know, and when you saw him listed today, you kind of go, geez, great, now you might get a bit of hurling spirit back into him now, maybe going to get a Craobh back into him, but you know, he's had a horrific injury too, so great sign of a player as well, the way Gray is speaking to some of the younger players, you know, just pointing direction, giving them talking all the time. They have a couple of young players behind them.
Spellacy.
He's on fire today.
Nails it.
Yep.
2 in a row from Spellacy. Makes it really, really comfortable for Whitehall Colmcille at the break. 3-9 to 1-1. And the frustrating thing is, from the Craobh Chiaráin point of view, they are working hard. They have just been outclassed.
They have, yeah, and again, you know, the ball that goes inside to likes of Owen and that, like, they're creating problems inside for the Craobh defence, but Craobh will be very, very disappointed with that, Oisín. You know, I like them. I've come across them when I was with Bowden on a number of occasions in Championship, and they go to war every day, and you know, there's always that handshake and that bit of respect at the end, but they're way off it today, and I just wonder, is that league hangover coming through? Like, you look at the games that they had during the league, they played 11 games in the league, they only won I think 2 or 3, they lost 8 games. You know, it's been a tough year, and 1-1 in a Championship first half, you know, is not good enough.
Yeah, well, as you say, they have a spirit, they have a determination, and they have a trophy from last year. They earned their way back into Senior 1, so they'll want to stay here. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from the first half. There's far more pleasant viewing for Whitehall Colmcille than it is for Craobh Chiaráin.
There is, yeah. Paddy has been efficient on his frees. I think he's only missed one, maybe even if he's missed one, but he's been efficient. He's worked hard as well, turn over a couple of balls. You can see as well, like, you know, the frees that Craobh are giving away are giving Paddy a chance and a foothold into it. There was a couple of opportunities for Craobh. Again, when they got the goal, you might thought, geez, they might push on here now. Hedgeway running through, just pops the ball out, sticks it in the back of the net. Great finish, you know, roof of the net, really, really good finish. And said, like, we'll have a right game here now. But since that point, you know, they just have been very poor. Just don't have that real fight and spirit that they normally associate with Craobh. Again, you see a free from Paddy there, and all the ball that's gone in has caused a problem. Young Forbes did really well on O'Donnell for a long time. O'Donnell looks injured and then not injured, interested and then not interested. But when he's up there, he is absolutely, you know, a serious force to deal with. And anytime he gets the ball into his hand, you know, he's scoring points, he's scoring goals. He's well capable of mixing it with the best.
No, and O'Donnell's having a fine game so far. Raftery, his running created havoc, yeah.
Great run through the centre, you know, and again, like that old style wall that you loved, you know, the Ken McGrath on the ground, back in the net, goal.
Here's Darren Kelly. He went for it. He was unlucky.
Yeah, it was a double save here as well, like, you know, really good, brave save, but again, didn't really hit it like the second. And I don't know what Darren was doing there, like, you know, he probably could have bent down and caught that. This is where O'Donnell's at his best, you know, wins the ball in the air like a train going through and wins the penalty. Did think it myself that it was a little bit outside, but Danny went in and had his consultation with the umpires, who have loads of experience in there, so a call that was made, and again, Spellesy hit this to the top left hand corner, roof of the net.
He scored 1-7 in that first half, Spellesy.
This is the younger O'Donnell here, went running through, you know, and again did really, really well. Popped the ball off, own dummy to the left, you know, and just a low finish to the corner. I'm surprised to see Chester not in the goal for Craobh as well. Chester has been in the goal for as long as I've been up here, and played for Dublin as well, or was in with Dublin second or third keeper, and like you've a young Lee Allen Kelly in there now as well. And it's a massive baptism for him in senior championship hurling, whether Stephen is hurt or injured or not available for today or not.
Spellesy from a very tight angle, but he made little of it.
Credit where it's due, Oisín, as well. Like, you know, you're 3-9 to 1-1 up. You know, that's about 15 points, 14 points up on Craobh Chiaráin at half time. I did say to you before the game started that Whitehall have potential going forward to be a senior 1 side if they can garner that kind of interest in the small ball as much as the big ball, and if they can get all their players playing hurling, you know, they have some really quality players coming through.
So, half-time, Whitehall Colmcille 3-9, Craobh Chiaráin 1 point is the latest score from here. As we told you a few minutes ago, Kilmacud Crokes 13 points to 9 up against Coola at the break in O'Toole Park. Crokes missing a penalty in the first half. Earlier on, St Jude's taking on St Vincent's here. St Vincent's with the victory, and Nafina with a comprehensive win against St Bridget's in the early game in O'Toole Park. Keep an eye out on the Dublin GA social media channels, and of course the Dublin GA website, dublinga.ie, for all the latest from the Go Ahead Senior Hurling Championship, and of course everything else that's happening under the umbrella of Dublin GAA. We'll be back for the second half. Join us then.
We met down at Fairview, and Ciaráin's brother was a friend of my brother's. We met through them, so when I was coming up to the Devs, I invited Ciaráin to my Devs. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes, so long as our firstborn child played for Vincent's. And he said, okay, grand. It's great to have our family involved as well. I suppose if the kids weren't as interested in it as we were, it'd be very tough on us.
Ciaráin's are playing Vincent's. The tension in the house is gas. Mum is obviously Vincent's and Dad is Ciaráin, so Mum always claims that she'll give John steak for dinner and she won't feed Kevin. But it's always a bit of a laugh, but I suppose no one takes it too seriously.
She had her hands full. She could have got the job as a bus driver. The amount of dropping off and picking up she did from matches around. Leaving some matches early to go to another match to make sure she got the end of that, or make sure we all got the same amount of attention. There was no favourites.
It means everything. I don't know what we'd do without it, to be fair. We eat, drink and sleep it.
It's always through the family like the rest of us. There's not enough supporting words, I'd say.
I know my whole life at this rate.
We're very proud parents. That's a huge achievement to have 100% of your family still playing. And we're proud of them all, every one of them.
My name is Niamh Heatherton.
My name is John Heatherton. I'm Ciaráin Heatherton.
I'm Patsy Heatherton, and as a family,
our roots are set in the GAA.
Ground Force probably is the absolute heart of this club, both in their ethos, the amount of work they do, and just the pure love they have for Naomh Marnoga and the GAA in general. In simplest terms, we probably couldn't function without Ground Force.
I suppose the GAA was always a bit more than hitting the ball or hitting the schlitter, you know, and it gave a great sense of community to people.
I suppose at my age, fear of retirement, worried about the unknown, what am I going into a home under my wife's feet all the time or something like that, and then we just got this men's initiative started off. We feel that we're giving something back to the club that gave so much to us. We come up here on a rotary basis and line pitches, cut grass. It kind of empowers us as well if we feel valued.
We're all friends, we're all retired, we're all around the same age group. Some of us have nothing outside of our work, and Ground Force has been a big change for everybody from the mental well-being point of view. It's really, really important and really significant, and there is great camaraderie amongst the group.
So I think there's about 30 odd men in this initiative that comes up to the club and has a chat, and the coffee is important as well. We sort out the world, Dad.
Yeah. Or well, most of it.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me, just achievement and pride.
Welcome back for the second half of Whitehall Colmcille against Craobh Chiaráin in the go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship encounter. They're about to start the second half in O'Toole Park as well, where Kilmacud Crokes are 13 points to 9 up against Coola. Earlier on, St Vincent's beating St Jude's, and a good win for Nafina against St Bridget's. Nafina, the defending champions, of course. There has been a change made by Craobh Chiaráin. I can tell you that Stephen O'Brien is in. What I can't tell you is who's gone off, but we'll update that in a second. Whitehall Colmcille 3-9 to 1-1 up. 18 points to 4 when you make the conversion. But Craobh Chiaráin, they're not a team that give up very easily, and as you can see, they're really up for it. Some timber sent flying there. Carl Salmon probing ball, looking for Darren Kelly perhaps. Up into the hand of Billy Ryan.
Yeah.
And Billy Ryan gets the first score of the second half.
It's a great score. First ball in, wins it. You know, that's more than they got for 20 minutes in the first half, you know. So, you know, let's see a real bit of fight in them now again and really make a game of it.
Noonan. Oh, great ball. Endo O'Donnell just leaves it behind and gives the defender a second to get to him. And then another defender, and he's muscled off it. Good work by Craobh Chiaráin. Maybe a tiny bit loose by Noonan. It will be a free out.
And a card.
Yeah, not the most vicious thing in the world, but... And in fairness to Danny Harrington, he's just telling him to calm down. It's very good refereeing.
you know, Owen Forbes, brave, like he's a fine player. He's typical Craobh, like real heart of a lion coming out with the ball there. Got a bang, like, you know. So
Craobh got a goal over in O'Toole Park. 1 point game there. 13 points to 1-9. 2 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, and Craobh have won a free here now as well, so give them a chance to get another score on the board. But look, they would have went in, be very honest, at half time. This is not us, like, this is not what we're about. There's too much pride in this club to allow that to happen. And in fairness to Whitehall, we're very good in the first half. A couple of poor wides that they'll fix, and they won't want to let this slip away now either. Like, you know, you want to make sure you push on from what you did in the first half.
Derwent puts it over, and it's a really, really good start to the second half. Two scores without reply for Craobh Chiaráin. Still an awful lot of work to do, but a positive start. And they've won the break around the middle again. Salmon. Gary Kelly has a look up. Billy Ryan and Darren Kelly always targets in around the middle there. Good work by Sean Kellett. Intercepts by Sean McHugh. The shout is inside, Sean. Here's Carl Salmon.
Yeah, good score.
Fantastic.
3 in a row now, Washing.
That's right. Battling for Zendo O'Donnell, but stuck to him like glue was Darren McCarthy. Noonan trying to get it. It does come Craobh Chiaráin's way. Darren McCarthy comes off his boot, out for a line ball to Whitehall, Colmcille.
Yeah, he was unlucky. He won the ball on the ground there, come out, and, you know, probably just needed to get rid of it quicker, but just came off his boot then for a line ball for Whitehall.
Well, no doubt that Whitehall would have known this was coming. Eddie Moran intercepted Craobh Chiaráin, first to everything so far in the second half. Chasing after this one is Robbie Mahon. Luke McCarthy. But a slip for McCarthy allows Mahon to get the ball down towards Billy Ryan. And Billy Ryan can't just keep it in.
Yeah, he's just off form today. Billy had loads of talent coming through with underage as well with Dublin, and has had a good college hurling as well, and he's just not in it today. Just touch seems a bit off it, like, as well. But a good ball won inside by Craobh, and good start to the second half.
Dara Gray into a space where there was no one to attack it. Gary Kelly winding up and going for it is Matthew Forbes. Darren Kelly's trying to get in under this one, just a little bit too much on that.
Yeah, too much on it, and again, just kind of caught between a shot and putting the ball in. Darren will be disappointed out. What Craobh starts to do is they've started to press that puck out a little bit more to not allow the free ball to come out.
It seems to be coming back as a bit of a second half thing in Dublin hurling today, because Coola now lead Kilmacud Crokes after 37 minutes, 1-12 to 14 points. They were 4 down at the break. Craobh Chiaráin considerably more down than that at the break. I think it was 14 points, but slowly but surely they're reducing that gap. Whitehall, Colmcille yet to score in the second half. Raftery. And it's a free to Craobh Chiaráin.
Yeah, Keane will probably come back and hit this now. Might be a little bit outside his radar, but there is a little bit of a breeze there that we spoke about in the first half. You just need to get it on target, because Darren Kelly's on the edge of the square. You don't need to take it right or left.
Derwent. This one has legs.
Range, yeah. Definitely range.
Fantastic from Derwent. Well, it is all Craobh Chiaráin in the second half so far. 4 without reply. 2 from Derwent. Luke McCarthy. McCarthy trying to get away from Robbie Mahon, who fouls him. It's a free out.
Yeah, and Robbie done well. He had taken a lot of steps, and he's right, but maybe if he had just stayed a little bit more outside the tackle and not wrapped the arm, he might have been called for steps. But just gives a chance now for Paddy to put one up again. You know, it's a fair distance out, but in fairness to both free takers today, they've been efficient enough with that. Craobh have just showed what Craobh are in the second half in the first few minutes. First half, they'll play that back on a number of occasions and say how, like, we were so devoid, hungover of real energy at all.
We saw Clare do it in the second half against Kilkenny last week. Granted, they were only 5 down. Here's Spellisy looking for a first score in the second half for Whitehall Colmcille. A settling score, and he's got it.
Great score.
Spellisy, who got the last 2 of the first half, gets the first for his team in the second. Pucked into a crowded area. The battle is on. The contest is on. Forbes. I like that Johnny Barry just kind of stood outside and put his hands up as if to say, well, what can I do?
Give me the ball. Danny left it a while there now as well.
Did,
but look, good honest battle as well. Like, you know, and great to see as well when you see young Mikey Noonan as well with a tap on the back to the Craobh guy beside him. So
nothing wrong with it.
Big hit.
All Forbes coming together with Noonan. You are right about Dublin having some really good referees. Danny Harrington is one of them, just blows the whistle and then calms things down and makes his decision very clear, which I think players love as well. Here's Cian Durbin.
No.
Pulled it just a little, didn't he? Dara Gray. Trying to break out to it, his own O'Donnell, who was on his haunches at times in the first half, but looks lively in the second. Just ran out of pitch there. Gary Kelly. Luke McCarthy couldn't get it under control. It's Cian Durbin, who's having an inspired second half. And in fairness, even in the first, even when things were going against Craobh Chiaráin, he was one of the ones you'd say, well, he's battling, he's working hard. If they can all match that, they'll be okay.
Yeah, I think the 2 names you mentioned, Gary Kelly and himself, were the only 2 really lights in the first half. Darren Kelly tried as well, probably made a wrong decision for the chance that he had for a goal, but Gary and Cian have really tried to lift the fight as well. And you look, you need more of that now from the likes of Robbie Mahan as well.
Cian Durbin, that's a massive, massive score in every sense for Craobh Chiaráin.
They've brought it back to 10 points now. They've had it better. They need a goal though to have any real chance. I think of they'll keep tipping away, keep fighting, but they're going to need a goal. And Whitehall need to be a bit more. They need to come out of the dressing room a little bit too confident, I think, based on the first half. But look, they're 10 points up. It's hard to kind of set into that kind of positive sense as well.
5-1 Craobh Chiaráin lead in the
Gary
first
Kelly
and second
again.
half, if that makes sense. Here's Gary Kelly. I was about to say just too many Whitehall Colmcille players around, but somehow Gary Kelly got away. And that's a really good ball. Finn.
No, too short.
Yeah. Darren Kelly will try and get in on this. He'll put pressure on Murray, but Murray is very decent. He knows what he's at, and he gets it out to Cummins. Cummins leaves it behind. No foul. Cummins get the pass away to Dara Gray. Great feet by Dara Gray. Shoveled it out towards Raftery, but there was too much on it.
Yeah, Dara did really well. Nothing in it. Dara Gray did really well coming out there, but just Raftery wasn't ready for the ball, or just Dara's thinking was a little bit maybe a second ahead.
Roland Hayes has got a goal for Kilmacud Crokes. They now lead by 2 after 42 minutes. 1-14 plays 1-12. Up against an incredibly hard-working Kula from what we're hearing today.
And Kula they've lost so many names off that team sheet, but again, they've been the benchmark for Dublin hurling for a long time now for what they did with the All-Ireland series.
2 All-Ireland titles coming forward. Here's Robbie Mahan. Robbie Mahan with an excellent score.
It's better. Like, he's been around for years. He's well capable. He's played for Dublin as well capable, and just hasn't been on it in the first half. But that's a good score now. Back to 9.
Spellisy is the target. Doesn't reach him. Forbes was dispossessed. Noonan. Still Noonan. Cummins.
Short and wide.
And Owen O'Donnell is really, really annoyed. He's saying you should have given it to me. Or words to that effect. Breaks for Noonan. Left behind, but then regathered by Dara Gray. Oh, he lost it there, I'm not sure how. Dara Gray will have to tidy up, and does well under pressure there from Billy Ryan. Really hard work from Billy Ryan, really good work from Billy Ryan. Here's Luke McCarthy. He's such a speedster, isn't he? He's got a bit of skill as well.
Great feet.
Took a clip on the way. Somehow Enda O'Donnell has it. Enda O'Donnell fouled and a free in. That's good work from Whitehall Colmcille.
It's better, yeah. They won't, again, as a management, they look at that now in the second half and say our first 10 minutes have been poor. Enda O'Donnell has great pace about him. Every time he gets the ball, even for the goal chance he created in the first half, he's serious pace. So.
Yeah. Spellacy, who's got their only score so far in the second half. Spellacy puts it over. They don't have to do anything spectacular in the second half. Whitehall Colmcille just tap over a score or two every now and then. Should be okay. But you don't want to take it for granted, and leads can be closed very quickly in hurling. Stephen O'Brien, speaking of quick, good run by O'Brien. Heatherton, wide.
Yeah, Kev will be disappointed with that now. They're using him in the forwards obviously today, based on he'd been at 6 or 5 when he came home from being on his travels that time, but he'll be disappointed with that shot. So Niall O'Connor gone off for Whitehall, got one good score, has loads of potential, young player as well, and then and Stephen Cassidy coming in for Whitehall. End is gone as well, is he? Yeah.
Just left behind by Barry. Tied up well by Salmon. Derwin. Might break kindly here. James Finn is chasing after it, and in hot pursuit is Derry Noonan. Finn at a tight angle. Darren Kelly's inside. Goes a bit deeper. Billy Ryan takes it.
Oh.
Breaks for Darren Kelly. Darren Kelly gets the score.
Yeah.
Well, the intention was for Sean McHugh, I assume, to run onto it and get a goal, but it ends up with a Darren Kelly score, his first of the game.
Yeah, Billy had great vision there to find the man. Just his touch needed to be a little better. The ball was a little bit off too, but look, Darren got a score. He tried to beat the man, just maybe didn't have the pace to get around him, but he got a score out of it. And again, they're coming back. They're just tipping away all the time.
Spellacy. Wide. Spellacy is getting a bit frustrated, isn't he? Even though his team are still leading by 8 points. And he's had a fine game, Spellacy. Here's Forbes. Derwin. Good work by Thorpe. .216 Kilmacud Crokes, 113 Coola. 2 second half goals for Kilmacud Crokes. Brendan Scanlon with the second goal, Ronan Hayes with the first. That one going on in O'Toole Park. Here's Enda O'Donnell. And that's a really fine score by Enda O'Donnell.
Yeah, he's been as good as they have today, Oisin. He's been really good, really impressive, lots of pace, good scores, working hard in around that half forward line too. Like I'd say, if you looked at his GPS now today, like he's put a lot of work in.
Whitehall Colmcille looking to sweep up the break, but it falls luckily here for Kevin Heatherton. He's got a man inside looking for it. Billy Ryan drops it. Darren Kelly there to try and help out. Still Billy Ryan battling. Whitehall Colmcille get numbers around and steal away with the ball. And then give it away, and trying to intercept is Carl Salmon. Salmon does well. Salmon has to go off the stick or go inside to Darren Kelly. Darren Kelly! Over rather than under. Darren Kelly's second point. I think he had a goal in his mind though.
Carl Salmon did really well there, showed a burst of pace. The roar from the line came, go. And he took off, but he didn't have another catch and popped it off to Darren. But I'd say you're right, I'd say it was goal on his mind.
Endo O'Donnell battling again, doesn't win that particular battle. Well, doesn't win the first part of it. Wins the second part. It looked like a foul, but he got away with it. And Craobh Chiaráin get the free in.
They've just blocked up around the centre here, the central channel. Like O'Donnell is inside now, and look, he's waiting for that ball to come inside, and no ball has really gone into him in the second half at all. I don't think I can remember one ball that's kind of been played into him in a one-on-one contest.
Dermot, who's carried the fight in the second half.
Yeah, good score.
Oh, fantastic score by Dermot. Four points for Derwin in the second half alone.
Yeah, they'll really rue that first half, Oisín, scoring 1-1. They've 9 scores in the second half. They'll rue that first half performance massively.
Gary Kelly. Oh, great ball. He's found Kevin Heatherton. Has he found a score? He has, and a wonderful one at that.
I'd say Dublin wish Gary Kelly wasn't 15 years younger. He won't like me for saying that, but Jesus, he has some brain, and his ability to win dirty ball. He never gives a silly ball away. I know he played at a high level underage as well, and won like considerable underage with Dublin, but he's constantly a magnificent defender.
Derry Noonan. Gary Kelly is there again. Good block, just getting the hook on there was Conor Sheedy. Kevin Heatherton. Matthew Forbes off his shoulder. I think that's Salmon who pops it forward looking for Kevin Heatherton. Good flick on. Billy Ryan.
Just an inch, I'd say, to the left, wide. Billy just hasn't been on it today, unfortunately. Just nothing has gone right for him.
Yeah, he's worked hard, just breaks haven't come his way. He did get a good score in fairness to him. 2:17 Kilmacud Crokes, 1:16 Coola, 49 minutes gone in O'Toole Park.
Great one.
Crokes playing Afina next week. That game is live on Dubs TV. That's this day next week.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one. Afina set out a real message today now of intent from O'Toole Park with that 26 point win against Bridget's. That's a huge win for Afina, and after winning that county final finally last year, I know they've had a few lads away travelling, but they all seem to be coming back now. It's a huge statement.
Whitehall Colmcille dropping it into Conor Sheedy. Fancy's taking it on. And why not?
Super score, yeah, super score.
His first since coming in. They're just doing enough, aren't they? Craobh Chiaráin needed a couple of goals, you feel. Breaks kindly for Derry Noonan. Got it up to his teammate, that's Stephen Cassidy. Long probing ball. Breaks kindly for Spellisy. Has an option to his left. Raftery.
Yep.
And that's the game done.
Great ball by Paddy. Paddy won the ball inside. Great catch. You can't beat that. Forward winning their own ball. Looking up. Again, breaks off inside. Unselfish. Pops it up. Bang, goal.
Well, he created a goal in the first half, Raftery, and he scored one in the second. Craobh Chiaráin, as is their want, as is their habit, they just won't give up. And scoring difference could be important when it comes down to decision day in the group, so that is important to keep working that scoreboard if you possibly can, even if you don't win the game. Heatherton. That's a good ball. Now, can he get away? He's got a bit of pace, Stephen O'Brien. Stephen O'Brien has a man to the right.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's good from Billy Ryan. But we had said that all day things just hadn't broken for him.
Yeah.
It broke from there, and he took his opportunity.
Well, look, you've said it a few times, and I've said it. The spirit that's in the group, they won't die. You'll have to wait for that 65th minute before the whistle is blown. But I just can't get over the first half. How they just were so dead in the boots, and like we said, maybe it was a carryover from the league. But if they were to get another goal here now, it would make it exciting.
Free out. So 4-12, that's 25 points. 2-11, that's 17 points. So it's still not done. A lot of work to do, but Anything is possible in hurling. Heatherton. That's a good ball, and a man who was left completely unmarked. It is Darren Kelly. Has to recycle it out to Robbie Mahon. Robbie Mahon will cushion this one over. That's a good score, well worked.
Like they're back to 7. You know, if they hadn't conceded that goal, you know, there were only 4 points. I know, but there were only 4 points in it after Whitehall being 15 points up.
It is a really good response to that goal, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that they've got 1-1 without reply. Endo O'Donnell.
Yeah, great score. He's been the shining light now for me today. Like Owen in the first half, the first 10 minutes was very good, very effective. Hasn't had any ball in the second half, but Enda's constantly running, moving, you know, loads of pace, well able to score.
Well, credit to Whitehall, Colmcille. Although Craobh Chiaráin have been far better in the second half, Whitehall, Colmcille have just kept the scores coming. Derwin is fouled, free in. 8 between them. We saw it last week, Kilkenny, were they 7 points up at one stage against Clare?
Yeah, you've just got a feeling that Craobh are going to need 2 more goals.
Change being made by each team. Stephen Kelly is in for Craobh Chiaráin. Going off is Sean McHugh. And going off for Whitehall Colmcille is Johnny Barry. They don't hold the number board up here, so it can be actually quite hard to tell you who's come in. It's not hard to tell you that Derwin has got in another score. Just to confirm, it is Sean O'Leary who's come in for Whitehall Colmcille. Spellisy went up for it, didn't get it. Here's Gary Kelly again. Robbie Mahon. Salmon. Cushion ball into the middle. Is that Mahon again? It is. Just couldn't quite hang on to it.
It's actually Matthew Forbes. Now you can see that O'Donnell's broke away completely on his own up here.
Matthew Forbes somehow got the ball away. This is a good, powerful run through. Still going, his own Forbes. And it's a free in. I think he actually got the score anyway, but the free in is in such a good position that I don't think they'll miss it. But great running by Owen Forbes. He'll be annoyed that he wasn't credited with that score, but the score will come, one would suspect.
Yeah, Owen Forbes is a fine player. He's played well colleges-wise over the last couple of years too. Really good, strong. So nothing seems to faze him. Very, very impressed with him.
3:18, Kilmacud Crokes 1:17, coolest 6 minutes to go. As that ball is stuck over. And Derwin makes 2 in a row for him.
Big one on top of O'Donnell here now.
Just 6 points between them. Flicking it forward, Sean O'Leary. It's not done yet.
But nobody inside there.
Mahon. Darren Kelly trying to get in on top of Ronan Murray. Murray does what he needs to do. Here's Dara Gray.
Dara's been quiet in the second half, hasn't he?
Dara Gray going long. 2-on-2 inside. Spellisy. Spellisy has a player off him there. That's Sheedy. No foul. Matthew Forbes tidies it up. Darren McCarthy under real pressure here. And I think we might go for a clash ball. Who's going to come away with the possession? It's Matthew Forbes. Whitehall Colmcille have Sean O'Leary down at the moment. He's receiving treatment, so it's 15 against 14. Flicked backwards by Heatherton. Nice piece of skill, but Luke McCarthy intercepts. Then he's fouled, and there could be a card to follow. Now, Whitehall Colmcille had one like that earlier in the first half, or was it the second half? The player in question got away with no card.
I think the noise around Danny is what's nearly infuriating him more. Like, let him off to make a decision now. We'll see that one again, I'd say, coming through here.
Ronan Costello, by the way, got that third Kilmacud Crokes goal. 318 to 117 the score there. Derwin, who's had a fine game, being spoken to by the referee. Robbie Mahon now being spoken to by Harrington, or Harrington speaking to, or Mahon speaking to Harrington, maybe more so. Sean O'Leary has had to go off. He wasn't that long on. Whitehall Colmcille have brought in Cian Murphy. Spellacy looking to just keep Craobh Chiaráin at arm's length. 6 points is the gap at the moment. He's looking to make it 7. Oh, it almost went in.
Big puck out now for Craobh. Big puck out. Put it on top of Robbie Mahon. See can he win it. You know, if they can get a goal, they'll really test Whitehall's mettle after Whitehall had a brilliant first half.
Well, the keeper was aware of his surroundings, I'm sure there. He went to swat it. It was more of a kind of a dummy swat. He knew it would bounce wide.
I'll go on that one.
Robbie Mahon couldn't find a teammate with the hand pass. Intercepted well by Stephen Cassidy. Endo O'Donnell on his bike again. Endo O'Donnell being chased down here. Stephen Kelly just can't stop Endo O'Donnell. He's lost his hurley. Sheedy back brilliant. To O'Donnell. Magnificent work. O'Donnell! Wide.
It's a killer after all that. He's been brilliant for Whitehall today, though. Loads of energy. I really like him. The pace he has, the directness. But jeez, look, he'll rue that one.
He may do if they lose. Forward it goes from Dara Gray. Craobh Chiaráin defender back to get it. That was Darren McCarthy. Gary Kelly chasing after it. Intercepted by Paddy Spellacy. Spellacy with a wonderful pickup, but then his shot is smothered. It does fall for Endo O'Donnell though. Back inside to Spellacy. Owen O'Donnell wants it. Spellacy takes on the shot and Spellacy hits it wide, and Owen O'Donnell is furious.
I don't think we've seen the ball in Owen's hand this half, have we?
Don't think so, no.
Just frustrate him when he's up there. Then he wants to be in the game so much. Maybe bring him out to 11 to get him involved a bit more when he's stuck inside. Like
319 for Kilmacud Crokes, 118 for Coola. Latest score.
Oh, that's a super score. That Fantastic. Is a super score. Really good by Billy Ryan.
His namesake scoring a goal for Kilkenny last weekend in Croke Park. This Billy Ryan not too bad either. Spellacy bats it down. Spellacy wins the break. A one-handed swat, but Derwin intercepts. It's just 5 between them, with a bit of injury time to be played as well. Did Luke McCarthy bring his man down? He did. It's a free in. .26 points, plays 21.
Yeah, they've just, like what I said now, they've brought O'Donnell out to 11. He's wasted inside, no ball going into him at all, so they need to get him on ball.
Derwin puts it over and ensures a nervy finish.
4 points, just at the time, they've left it. They left too much in the first half, Ush.
Imagine there was some idiot commentator a couple of minutes ago said that the game was done.
Yeah, but the like we've given them, they have that spirit.
Oh, that's a great catch by Owen O'Donnell. He came deeper to receive that catch on the puck out, and now he's won the free in, and that could be the difference. Owen O'Donnell just knew where to go, knew where to be, made himself the option, and the keeper farmed it down to him. Ronan Murray, good puck out. Owen O'Donnell, good and brave catch.
Yeah, very brave catch, and that's why they brought him to 11 at the time to win that, because it was an important puck out. Like you said, there was only 4 points in it. Big thing as well, like you have to give credit to Whitehall. They had a magnificent first half. It's very hard. I've been in that position a couple of times when you go in, you're 12, 14 points up, to keep the momentum in the dressing room about driving things on, and you know that Craobh are going to come back with that bit of spirit, but It'll be a huge win for Whitehall if they get over the line here today. Huge for the team going forward into the championship.
Good score by Spellacy. Just gives them a little bit of a cushion. Now again, they don't hold up a sign here, so we don't know how much injury time there is to be played. They need a couple of goals though, that we do know for certain. Here's Gary Kelly. Up high and into the square it goes. Darren Kelly is waiting.
Oh, he has it.
Oh, he was desperately unlucky. That was James Finn. It was Billy Ryan who got it into the square. Darren Kelly was waiting. It's out for a 65. James Finn, who scored a goal in the opening minutes, almost scoring one in the closing.
Was it O'Donnell that got back to get the block? And he looks in serious.
Let's have a look at the replay.
No. I hate seeing that with a player when they're banging the ground like that.
Yeah. Full time from O'Toole Park, Kilmacud Crokes 320, Coola 119. Crokes playing Nafina here next week. That's next Saturday. It is live on Dubs TV. Part of a double header next Saturday. Gary Kelly drops it into the square. He knows his team need goals. Whitehall Colmcille haven't got rid of it. Darren Kelly is over, gets away from him. Thorpe was there, sweeping it up as Stephen Kelly. Stephen Kelly has to go backwards. Carl Salmon dropping it in and putting it over. I think he was kind of aiming for the crossbar, that Paul Flynn trick. Well, Craobh Chiaráin have plenty of spirit, but I think they've run out of time. Whitehall make a change. Samuel Thorpe comes in. Ronan Murray. Owen O'Donnell has come deep to collect a couple of balls late in the second half. Owen O'Donnell's still going. Popped it off to Dara Gray, and they've won the free in.
Yeah, they got a couple of hefty bangs there, O'Donnell, and maybe thought after the second one he was going to get a free, but look, since they brought him out that time, he was left dormant inside for about 20 minutes there where he was winning nothing because there was no ball going in, but he got two heavy bangs there on the hand, but I look, it woke him up a bit there now as well, and Dara Gray came out, a bit of a high five. It's a big win for Whitehall, Oisín, and it's hard on Craobh. Craobh had a really, really poor first half, and for those at home, like to only score 2 scores in the championship match in the first half is just so unlike them. So they'll go back and they'll look at that now as well and see where they went wrong. But credit to Whitehall, they had to fight in the second half, like you said, and they've done that.
Over it goes.
So that's it.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time for Craobh Chiaráin to do what they need to do now. But they will try, they won't give up. As long as we're playing, they'll play. Into the square it goes. Whitehall Colmcille deal with it. Josh Thorpe is onto it. This could be the last play of the game. In fairness to Craobh Chiaráin, they have made a mighty effort of it in the second half, and scoring difference might count when we do the final sums on the final day. Raftery.
Some pace.
Yeah, unbelievable pace. Raftery floats it over, and that's the icing on the cake.
It's an excellent score. Took the ball on, won it himself and took it on 40-50 yards with loads of pace and put the ball over the bar. Great score.
He's really impressed at times today, hasn't he?
Yes.
Whitehall Colmcille, who don't play next week, open up with a victory. 4-17 to 2-17. Craobh Chiaráin were really poor in the first half. They were much, much better in the second half, but it wasn't enough. Whitehall Colmcille get the victory.
Yeah, get the victory, and like you said, they opened it up with really impressive goals in the first half. They were really, really tough and really, really efficient up front. Maybe a couple of wides that they look at, but overall a huge victory for Whitehall. And like you said, they're not playing next week, which means they go in now. They don't play another championship game till the middle of nearly the end of August. So they know they have the couple of points on the board now with a real opportunity and chance to push on to the next level, because they have talent, Oisín. They've loads of young players there, loads of inexperienced players that came through today, and some of the older lads, Paddy Spellisy, Owen O'Donnell, obviously Dara Gray stood up. I was really impressed today with Endo O'Donnell. I thought he was excellent today, and I think there's a lot in Josh Thorpe at 3 as well.
They won't play again until the 17th of August, Whitehall, Colmcille.
Wow.
That'll be against Ballyboden St Enda's. For Craobh Chiaráin, they're out again next week. They're playing St Jude's, the two teams that opened up with a loss, playing each other next week. And that's a huge game, isn't it, for both of those two teams?
It is, Oisín, because if you lose like your first 2 games, like you really are on the back foot, and with the way the championship is run, you're going to get a bye week as well, facing possibly into what are perceived to be the tougher teams. So yeah, whoever loses next week is in real trouble.
And the other game in this group next week is Ballyboden St Enda's against St Vincent's. That's here at 3:30 next Saturday. It's live on Dubs TV. It's followed at 5:30 by a game from the other group. That's Group 1, Kilmacud Crokes taking on Nafina. Both Crokes and Nafina opening up with victories today. Nafina's far more comfortable against St Bridges than Crokes was against Coola. Apparently that was a fiery match at times, and Coola worked very hard, but Kilmacud Crokes saw it home in the end. Your final thoughts on this game before we check out the highlights?
Yeah, look, just it's great to be back in. Not even mind the game. It's great to be back in with club championship hurling in Dublin after getting the lads back in from the county, and you can see the Whitehall lads there having a conversation now. With management, let's not rest on this now. We were really good in the first half, but that second half performance, we know, wasn't really good enough at times. We knew Craobh were going to come back, and we have to learn from that going forward. So look, it's great to be back in here for summer hurling, even though it feels like the middle of winter now towards the end. It's gone cold up here. You could do an old radiator up here, but look, it's great to be back in here, Oisín. I just think when you look at Whitehall today, like they have a young emerging team coming through there now, some underage talent coming through from the schools, her side of hurling as well. And look, they fought like dogs in the first half, and O'Donnell was really dangerous, and it's important now that they build on that going forward, and with some really big games and tough games coming up as well.
Let's have a look at the second half highlights.
Yeah, we knew there would be a response in the group, and you can see the Craobh lads over there at the moment now. For people that are not here, the sun was shining now at this stage where they knew they had to come back out. Billy Ryan, I thought, was a little bit off today, but came in with 1 or 2 really good scores. Started off that one. Keane Derwin again, looked really efficient on his frees in the second half. Just in around the middle, they lost that battle in the first half, and it allowed Paddy and those lads to put ball in on top of O'Donnell. But they came back in, I think, at the first 5 scores of the second half. That goal that they conceded just towards the end, kind of really, they were back to maybe 4 or 5 at that stage, and the goal just pushed it back out again, and I think sucked the energy out of them. But Paddy was very good on his frees today. That was one from nearly 100 yards. Very impressive today on that.
Yeah, credit to Whitehall Colmcille, because in the second half when Craobh Chiaráin really came at them, they still found a way, they still kind of kept them at arm's length. And it's hard when a team gets momentum and you're trying to stop that.
Yeah, I remember I think it was 18, maybe 19, playing against Whitehall actually at night time when you had that kind of April break. Do you remember when we had the 2 games in April, and being 15 points up at half time against Whitehall and winning by 1, I think, in the end, or 2, because it's so hard, no matter how you speak as a management team, it's so hard to maintain that momentum into the second half, and knowing that the club is going to come back, like Craobh are going to come back at you. O'Donnell, I think, moving him back out to 11 was a good call with 5 minutes to go when it was in the melting pot. Darren Kelly here had a chance, probably was going for goal. Was maybe a foot over the bar. Keane, a good score off his right hand side from a free here. But they'll rue the first half. I don't know where the first half came from. What I'm delighted to see over there now is that normally the fellas who don't play do the runs at the end to kind of build up their, well, for at county level it's their GPS. A lot of those Craobh lads have stayed out there and said that wasn't good enough today. We need that bit of extra work, because the first half today was a really poor showing from Craobh. This fella, that was the only ball I say that Gary missed all day. Spellisy robbed it off from his right hand side, bang, good finish for a goal, and that was the one that really killed the opportunity and chance for Craobh to come back.
Misha Raftery on killer, he had a great game.
This one again, they just left it that little bit too late, and like Billy's a great player, just looked a little bit off in himself today. Maybe if you lose 8 matches in the league out of 11 or 9 matches out of 11, Oisín, it does suck the life out of you as well, Yeah.
But this will give them the second half display, won't it?
It will, of course. And they'll, as a management now, they'll have to look, this is what we're about. We can lose. Every team can lose, but let's lose with a bit of dignity and a bit of fight as well. The first half they didn't really go at it at all.
Endo O'Donnell, he was excellent all game, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He really good, and I love his pace, and he was very unselfish to give that ball to Owen as well for the goal.
Cian Derwin, even in the first half when things weren't going well, he stood up. In the second half he was excellent, got some big scores, big frees, and had some good plays as well, like created for his teammates. That's a fine score by Billy Ryan.
There's just very few different names that we're naming us, you know, for Craobh. Like, you're looking at the Cian Derwins and Billy Ryans and stuff, like they've been there since 18 or 19 when, you know, that's 5 years ago now, and they're still there, that same consistent group. So
Spellacy was excellent today. At the end, they had to drop the ball in and go for it. Darren Kelly battling here. Oh, what a block that was. Getting across to make that block was Derry Noonan.
Surprised we didn't see Usanga there at some stage as well come in, because he causes problems in around 14, maybe with 10-15 minutes to go.
They won those scrambles, didn't they, Whitehall, Colmcille?
They did. They won that dirty ball in the second half when they had to, but they were very, very good at that in the first half. And the big thing coming in here, I'd say, for management is that, look, we don't lie down, and they were really good in the first half of that. I just think when they clip the second half, they'll realise that maybe some of their work rate wasn't what it was in the first. Like, this is brilliant here, like off the shoulder running, really good direct running down the line, and a simple popped score over the bar. But he always had that man on his shoulder waiting to go with him.
Yeah. So that's it from the second game, 4-17 to 2-17. Armagh are 1 point up against Kerry with 4 minutes to go in the All-Ireland Football Championship semi-final. If that goes to extra time, we could rush down to Croke Park and get that extra time and penalties. But if you're Armagh, you don't want it to go to penalties, do you? Earlier on, Down beating Laois 14 points to 2-6. You can keep an eye out on everything that happened in the go-ahead hurling championships across the levels in Dublin on dublinga.ie and through the Dublin social media channels. You'll also be able to see clips from the 2 games we had live and free on Dubs TV today. Earlier on, St Vincent's with a good win against St Jude's. Here in the second game, a second half comeback from Craobh Chiaráin wasn't quite enough, but they showed some good spirit, and it's something they can build on for the next game, which is against St Jude's next week. 4-17 to 2-17 the final score in this game. Out in O'Toole Park, there was a double header of senior games today. O'Toole Park hosting first of all the clash between Na Fianna and St Bridget's. Na Fianna with a comprehensive victory there, and in the second game Kilmacud Crokes made to fight for it, but they did get the 2 points. They did get the victory against Coola. The final score in that game, 320 Kilmacud Crokes, 119 Coola. As I say, dublinga.ie is the place to go to keep on top of everything that's happening in Dublin GA, or of course you can check out the social media channels. There'll be more from these games and everything else available on those popping up over the next couple of hours. My thanks to Joe Fortune and all the team who put the show together. We're back next week for another double header. Amongst the games will be Kilmacud Crokes against the champions Na Fianna. So much to look forward to. Hope you can join us for that. Until then, take care. Bye bye.